I'm sitting here in my backyard. I don't know if you can see my cat Luna. She's right here. So I'm thinking, okay, this lesson is about how to play guitar with a cat on your lap. Can we do it? I think we can. She somehow wants to be in the video, so I'm going to show you just a little progression that I like to play. I actually wrote a song around this a while back called Fool's Paradise, but it's got a bunch of chords in it. But I was just thinking, I was talking to my partner the other day, Jason, about the importance of playing a song from beginning to end, playing it well, because we're in this age of distraction. Everything's like, oh, they'll jump over here, jump over there. But I think we don't want to lose sight of the fact that if we can play one song, one piece of music from beginning to end really well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's perfect anyway with this deal. Hi, Mr. Mockingbird. Then it's just valuable, is what I'm saying. And it's a simple thing to say, but a lot of times with my students, I've noticed is like, can you play me a song that you really like, that you can inhabit, and that you can really nail from beginning to end? And you'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be, how many people have trouble doing that, because they're like, oh, wait. I go, no, wait. There's no waiting. That song just had a heart attack, right? So I'm just going to put in a little pitch for playing a song really well from beginning to end. If you sing, great. If you don't, that's okay too. Maybe you play it with a singer. So in this case, though, I want to show you a little progression. It's E, starts out with a G. Then it goes to the relative minor, E minor. Okay, and then C to D. And then D with the F sharp. I put my thumb over here and got the second fret on the low E string. That's the way I do it. So if you do it in slow motion, it would sound like this. I'm picking it. And then a C. So it's G, E minor, C, and then D. That's a pretty cool move, huh? It's a slash chord. It's a D, and then with the F sharp. And what that does is it walks you up to the G. So this is kind of like a little jam thing you could do over and over. You could loop it or whatever. And oh, there goes my cat, Luna. Bye-bye. She's bored. So let me show you that close up and get kind of a good look at it. There's your G. There's your E minor. There's your C. And there's your D. And then here's your F sharp. So that D, F sharp is a nice little move, I think. I use that a lot. That particular chord, the D with the F sharp, has a nice ring to it, I think. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I've shown you the progression, what can be done with that? Okay, well, I'm going to throw in a couple of fills and see what happens here. I'm just going to do it real simple and slow first. A little walk down. I'll try and just clue you in. I shine a little light on that. I'm playing a G chord, and one move I can make is a little walk down. You've heard that before. So I'm just going 3-2 open on the low E, and that's a way of traveling from the G chord to that E minor chord. And a lot of what I teach, especially lately, is what do we do in between the chords, right? This is our conversation we're having. So it's important to, I think, to developing some connective tissue or some, internal melodies that happen between each chord. Not all the time, because you don't want to overdo it, but it's nice to have those little fills. It's kind of a special sauce. And then you can walk up to the C. Check this out. Pretty easy, right? side, open A, and then 2, 3, and land on the C chord. And then maybe just voice a D, because you're about to do that F sharp. Got that? So now we've got to walk down from the G to the E minor. We got to walk up to the C. Then we just hit a real simple D chord, and then we do our little F sharp move. So now I'm going to do it really slowly and see if you can get comfortable with what I'm doing. I just did different timing up to the C. I did a little bit different timing there, and now I'll do it straight. That's just straight time. That D chord, F sharp note. So that's a pretty simple lesson, but you know what I've realized as of late, and it keeps getting pointed out to me, is that people really enjoy, and actually I do too when I'm trying to learn something, is when the teacher or whoever pulls it apart and does it really slowly and simplistically. It's so important, and I really realize that more and more as I do these lessons. Don't be in a hurry, Jim, you know, to play this stuff. There's plenty of time to play it fancy and fast later. You know, we can all watch, you know, Billy Strings or Molly Tuttle and all these amazing, God, there's just amazing acoustic players out there these days. So glad to see the young up-and-coming people that are just brilliant on the acoustic guitar, man. It's like Billy Strings really did bring it. And it's funny because I spent a lot of time in Michigan, and he's from a town near where I live, South Haven. I still have family there, so there's a little Billy Strings thing, but he sort of made it around that area first, I think. And then, so back to our little change thing, and we may see an appearance from my cat in a sec. Are you coming back up or no? Okay. Let's do it up to tempo. Kind of a Paul Simon groove. And I'm going to give you a very special D before it's all over. Okay, now that walk up I did with my first finger. See that? I'll do it both ways. I can either do it with the thumb, or I can do it if you finger it. If I'm fingering it this way, and I'm doing hammer-ons or whatever, I'll use the thumb. You know, regular old D. But if I'm fingering it with my pinky on that 3rd fret of the B, I have the option of, if I want. And quite often I'll change it up just because my hand might want some different movements. You know, I don't want to cramp up. So I'll move stuff around just to kind of give my hands a break and move different ways. So before I go though, I wanted to add one little more thing to it. When you hit that C, okay, rather than go to a regular D, try this one. Go up 2 frets and just move everything up 2. That's still a D chord, but it's an alternate. And maybe that could be something in the context of this progression that you know, wrap it up with. So check it out. Here's how it would sound. Let's see. Yeah. And then here's the regular D and the F sharp. Now I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do a little bit different form of the D when we get there. Now I'm going to do it with my pinky on that 3rd of the B. I'm going to use my first finger to pick up that F sharp. Now I'm going to do it again. Catch that? I've moved up from the 2nd to the 4th on the D. Pretty cool. Then walk up to the C. And let's move it up to that new D chord that I just showed you. And then we'll just rest on the G. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play through the various different ways I just showed you. And don't forget this one on the E minor. Pretty cool. I find that to be effective. These are all just little, fillers. Okay, so now I'm going to play through the whole thing with all the changes that we just did and check out how it can go. Very Simon and Garfunkel, that chord. Okay, now I'm going to get a little more up to tempo with it before I leave you and see what it sounds like up to speed. So that was just me having fun with it and just showing where you can go. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, though, please visit me at jimmydillon.com. Almost forgot my website. And say hello. You'll probably meet Jason there, my partner. And if you got any questions or any kind of suggestions or requests or whatever, I'd be glad to try and fulfill those for you. Okay, we'll see you down the road.